again, BookTube. Welcome back to Leanne's Library. I'm bringing you to my April wrap-up. Yes, April. I'm very excited because I've literally just been to the bookshop for the first time in over a year. I spent about at least an hour in Waterstones. This is the pile over here, and it's huge. I am like dying. I can't even show you how tall it is. The two at the top are like what I've got to read this month, but the rest of them, yeah, bye bye birthday money. It's gone, all on those books. So you will have a book haul coming to you soon, but that isn't all of them. I have still got 4 more physical books coming, and I did also buy quite a few Kindle books. So that's all of my birthday money gone. I'm so excited to show you what I got because like I said, I spent over an hour in Waterstones, and I also went to 2 or 3 different charity shops and got like some absolute bargains. So I'm looking forward to filming my book haul because lots of books. It's been over a year and I can't wait to show you, and I can't wait to dig into them. So I really hope that next month on my TBR game we get lots of them on there. But I also need to finish series, so it's kind of, though I have bought some books to complete series, so it's kind of a mixture, so we'll see. So first off, in April, my cat keeps on walking over my laptop where I've got my notes. So first off, in April, I think this was the first thing I read, which I do have a review on, but I have reread A Court of Mist and Fury, and I did complete all of my TBR game April reads. So I read A Court of Mist and Fury, and again, 5-star. This is, I don't know, because loads of people say this is the best one in the series, but I kind of think it's a toss-up between this and ACOWAR, which I'm currently reading, so that might make me a little bit biased. But I am loving ACOWAR too. A Court of Mist and Fury and A Court of Wings and Ruin are just so brilliant, both of them, and I can't like work out which one I like more. I might know when I finish ACOWAR again, but we'll see. So definitely, yeah, 5 out of 5 stars for this. I absolutely love these. They are like, I mean, guilty pleasure. I never feel guilty about the things I like, so whatever, but if you're going to categorise it like that, then sure. But I absolutely love Sarah J Maas's books, and I don't care. I will just say that I love them. So the next thing I read in April was volume 2 of Fullmetal Alchemist. This is also on my TBR for May, so the 3rd volume, so I'll be finishing this bind up in May. This was absolutely brilliant. I loved every minute. There was a really dark part of this book that just really got to me, like, especially as a parent now, like it really got to me. But I think this writing is absolutely fabulous and everything makes sense. There doesn't seem to be any filler or anything like that, so I'm absolutely loving reading these right now, and I think I'll continue as long as I possibly can, which means I'll have to buy volumes 7 onwards, because I think we've only got the first 2 binds up of these so far. But I think that Fullmetal Alchemist is absolutely brilliant manga for anybody to read who likes fantasy, because it is just so brilliant. So the next thing I read in April was 6 of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, and again, absolutely brilliant, absolutely love it. I read it just before the show came out, and again, brilliant. I love what they did with it. I didn't know how they were going to do what they did in the show and how they were going to bring 6 of Crows into like a mix between that and Shadow and Bone, but I think they executed it so well, and I'm so happy with the show so far. I can't wait to see where it goes to next because of where everything ended. But yeah, I absolutely loved the book. It was the first time I've read it, and I am very excited to read Crooked Kingdom, so hopefully I can get that, squeeze it into my May TBR, because I have got some small books on my May TBR and I've only got 4, I think, on there, so it's not so bad. So hopefully I do really want to read Crooked Kingdom soon, because I loved Six of Crows more than I like the Shadow of Bone books, which were also good, but I like the characters a lot more, and I think that helps me bond a lot more with the story as well. So I love these books, and will absolutely carry on with all of the other Lee Bardugo books that come my way. Another book I read was Traitors Blade by Sebastian de Castell. Another absolutely brilliant book. I had a brilliant month in April. I don't think I disliked any of the books I read, but the Traitors Blade was brilliant, and I have, just like a spoiler for my book haul, I've ordered the other books in the series, and I cannot wait to get my hands on them, because I absolutely love the trio in this book. The main three guys are just so funny, and I love their banter. It's not what I'm used to, because it's not the kind of banter I have with my friends normally. It's sort of the banter I kind of get with my family, like jabbing and jibing and all that kind of stuff. But I just loved that part of this book so much. I also loved, like, the characters that come into it and how they kind of vibe into the story. And it's very character driven, but I also love the plot, because I think it goes both ways. The plot's brilliant too, so I am so excited, and I think kudos to Sebastian de Castell. He has done his research and he knows how to write fantasy. So I want to read Spellslinger too. Like, I'm trusting Sebastian now. I've read one book by him and I'm hooked. So I'm very excited for that. Another book I read in April was Legend Born, which was an absolutely brilliant Arthurian retelling. I really thoroughly enjoyed reading it. I feel like it may have been a bit slow for me to start, but that's solely because it's set in, like, this world, and I always get that feeling when I'm starting a book that's set in reality, because it's just me. It's nothing to do with the book. I just prefer other worlds. But as soon as the fantasy element started really getting going, I was hooked, and I loved the magic system in this, and I loved how, like, it was based on all the Knights of the Round Tables, and how they're all descended from the original ones, and how their magic works, like, as a family system. And I absolutely adored the twist, and how important like the whole Black Lives Matter movement plays into it, how racism is moved in, like, built into the story, because there's like towards the beginning of the story there's a racist cop, and you can see, like, the fear that people of colour face all the time, and it is awful to see it, but the representation is very much needed, and it's really good to see it even in fantasy books, and in worlds not quite like ours. It's still a very important thing to see, and I feel like it was written wonderfully. And there's, like, themes of slavery, and how the older generation can kind of look down on people of colour, and just assume certain things about them. Like, the older generation will just, like, kind of look down on her, assuming that she's like a servant, and, like, there's only, like, white people in who are legend born, and who, like, run under that kind of category, because, well, based on history and who would have been the more important people at the time, it would have been, they all would be descendants of white people. And so I think that's really integrated well into the story as to why she can see this magic and what's going on there in the history as well as in the present. So I really adored Legendborn, and I think it's written so wonderfully. The final thing I read in April was Three Dark Crowns, and that was so brilliant. Again, another fantastic book that I read in April. So basically it's about three sisters who are supposed to become the next queen, and they're kind of going up against each other. They were all separated at the age of 6, and basically brought up by different people based on the powers that they're supposed to have. So one's like a poisoner, one is like elemental, she can use the elements as her power, and the other one is supposed to have an animal familiar and supposed to be really good with animals and stuff like that. And they're all supposed to be competing, so you get all three perspectives of these different sisters and who they're working with, who they're being brought up by, and I feel like they're kind of being groomed in a way to obviously take the throne, but also have the powers that their mother assumed they have. Or apparently, like, the queen knows what powers her three daughters have, and they always have triplets who are supposed to fight for the throne. And so they are brought up by separate people who will teach them to use those specific powers, because there's other people in the world who also have them powers, but the queen is supposed to be the strongest of those people. And so the story kind of takes place where they are like showing their worth to their people, so they get a lot of following and a lot of people behind them as support to them being the next queen. And they're also like showing their worth to suitors so that they get a stronger alliance to marry someone and all that kind of stuff. And obviously the queen gets to choose who to marry out of those suitors, but it has to be kind of one of those suitors. And then if you've read it, you'll know, but I really enjoyed the ending. Other people might not so much. Like, I kind of felt it coming, like what the twist was, but I didn't think it'd actually happen. Like, I thought maybe, I don't know what I thought, but I didn't think that would end up being the twist. But I think it was executed really, really wonderfully right at the end of the book as well. So I am wanting to get the second book in the series and see what happens next. So I have just had a really good month in April. I think my TBR game was very, very kind to me last month. So hopefully it's as kind to me this month, and I'm very excited to get into the books that I've got planned. So yay! Thank you so much for watching my wrap up for April, and I will see you in my next video, which will likely be this wonderful, amazing book haul that I'm so excited to show you. So stay tuned for that. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see it, and if you want to see my TBR games as well, which I do every month. It's based around knitting and crocheting, which is another wonderful hobby of mine. I made this cardigan that is so cozy and lovely. So if you want to check out that channel, go ahead if you like knitting and crocheting. I will link it down below. And I will see you soon. Ta-ta for now. Bye!